Every married man I've ever talked to has told me, bro, do not get married. Have you guys talked to blue-collared workers that are married? They'd be like, fuck, I hate my fucking wife. If you've ever worked in a warehouse, then you know what I'm talking about. Those guys that will pick up mad shifts just to avoid their wife. So I always pose the same question to all of them. Bro, why do you hate your wife? They'll be like, bro, I'm working 12 hours, 16 hours just for her to fucking spend all this shit on Target, Starbucks. I fucking hate that bitch. Like, I'm out here slaving my ass off just to keep the roof on over our head, and she doesn't do anything. And I'm like, damn. And he's like, yeah, to make it worse, if she's asking me how my day is, I already know she's gonna ask me for some fucking money. So I'm trying to lighten up the mood and bring some positives about being married. I'm like, bro, at least you get consistent sex, like consistent buns. He's like, consistent sex? I have to fucking beg her to get head and to get fucked. And she doesn't even do it right. They all say the same thing. The more you ask her, the more she holds off. And you can't cheat because she'll take half of everything. And then you can't leave because she'll take half of everything. I'm in a fucking loop. In a fucking cycle. And you know what's crazy? A lot of them, I'll ask them like, yo, do you think like you're getting cheated on? Some of them be like, yeah, I'm for sure getting cheated on, but you know, I just do this shit for my kids. No. Like, imagine you want to leave your marriage and you're like, fuck, she's going to take half of everything. So like, you literally have to stick through it. I want every man watching this, go and ask other men that are married, bro, should I get married? And 99% of them will be like, no. If you're not prepared for her to take half of everything, no.
Man, there's a lot to unpack here. But first and foremost, shout out to the content creator. But I actually agree with him in the sense of I've heard these stories over and over again. And the crazy part about it, I actually am married. So when he say go ask, married men if they hate their wives or they hate being in a marriage, I'm actually gonna raise my hand and say I disagree. I actually love being married. Are there some tough times? Are there some struggles? Are there some times you like, man, I just don't like my wife right now? Are there some times maybe like early, like have you ever questioned the marriage? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. You wouldn't be a man if you didn't, right? But here's the thing I noticed though, right? And let's like really touch on a few things he said. He talking to, and it don't matter if it's blue collar, white collar. That's not what matters. What matters is a lot of them guys saying, man, all my wife do is take my money. Every time she speak to me, I know she's gonna ask me for some money. Let's address that first, right? First of all, and again, I've always said I'm a numbers guy. I'm an animal when it comes to budgeting, all of that, right? Credit. I built my credit. I remember before I started really understanding credit, I was in like a 450. In a year and a half, I got it to a 750, and now it's even higher than that, right? Just learning how the numbers work. So I say that all to say, man, a lot of them dudes are miserable because they're not leading their marriage. They're not leading. There's no way where a man should be like, man, my wife just spend money without any type of budget, anything that's connected to it where she has some free money, some play money. It just randomly spending money. Hell no. There's no way that your wife should just be able to swipe a card and you just okay with it. That's the first thing. I don't care who you are, married, single, like, bro, you should always be accounting for money. Now, we know women like to spend money. They like to window shop. We know they like to shop till they drop. There's nothing wrong with that, but have a budget for it. It just can't be, yeah, do what you want, baby. Because you feel miserable, like you feel like you hate her. A lot of time, it ain't even your wife. A lot of them dudes hate themselves, man. And let me go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Because many of you know who've been watching my channel, I have lost over 100 pounds, right? I'm a living testimony of being overweight in marriage and being in shape in the marriage, right? And I still got a lot of work to do. But let me say this to say, bro, when I go out in public, I'm gonna keep it in a buck with you. Dudes are out of shape. They out of shape and they're miserable and they hate their lives because they not taking care of themselves. And then on top of that, they trying to take care of wife. They're trying to take care of kids. They trying to take care of their mama, their daddy. Like, they're trying to take care of other family members. Bro, you have to be able to take care of yourself the right way first. There's too many men, and I know the warehouse work. He a young cat, right? Who talking on the video. I know he talking about the old heads, because most of them are the one who's married, who probably hate their marriage, who been in it for a while. Listen, a lot of them guys do not take care of their health at all. They don't take care of their teeth. They don't take care of their weight. They don't take care of themselves as far as going to the doctor to get checkups. I'm telling you right now, a lot of them guys got prostate cancer, colon cancer, diabetes, heart rate failure, all that, because they don't take care of themselves. And guess what? There's a lot of conversation with women right now saying, listen, don't get in a relationship with a guy who's overweight or older guy, because a lot of them comes with health issues. You can watch them. You can see them. Go out in public. Go to the grocery store. Dudes looking like they 70, they probably 50, pushing around the little cart with the basket, electric cart. Right? A lot of them dudes kind of humbling, got a limp in their step. They got a cane. Right? They bent over walking. They have not taken care of themselves. They have not stayed healthy. And again, I'm not preaching on this to say, yeah, you need to everybody need to walk around with a six pack. I'm not saying that. It would be nice. As men, it would be nice. But what I am saying is, be healthy. You know, I say this, I learned this in high school. If you can't, let me just say it like this. If you can't see your Johnson, you out of shape. If you can't look down without bending over further to see your Johnson, you out of shape. I'm gonna keep it that simple. I'm gonna keep it that simple for the man. You have to get in shape, because that's gonna lead you to having more confidence, to having more situation where you lead yourself, which in turn you can lead a family and lead your kids the right way. All right. The second thing that he said or whatever, talking about the sex thing, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of dudes, because they wives don't find them attractive. Dude, you overweight, you can't even stroke that long. I'm keeping it a buck. You don't have any stamina. You don't have any wind. You know how you playing basketball? They be like, you got a good wind. That means you can run it up and down the court without really be huffing and puffing. A lot of them guys don't have it because they do nothing active. They probably get 500 steps a day. You supposed to be getting 10,000. That's the new norm. Right? That's the new norm, 10,000 steps. They don't do that. So when they get into a situation, now they out of shape. Again, teeth aren't clean. Right? Face probably got acne, hair balding. And again, we get older, but a lot of that, it shouldn't be balding right away. But they find it unattractive. You follow me? Again, gut, you probably got an odor. Again, you don't look strong. You don't look masculine. I'm just calling it out. Because I gotta tell you guys, I gotta hold y'all accountable, man. Y'all out here making excuses. Oh, I hate my wife. I hate my marriage, because you hate yourself. You hate yourself. That's the honest God truth. And you know it. Every dude knows it. When they hear that voice in the back of their head and they look in the mirror and they see themselves, they hate themselves on how they look. But they're not willing to put the work in. And so what they do, they start to point fingers. Oh, it's my wife's fault. It's this person's fault. It's that person's fault. No, it's your fault for not taking care of yourself. Nobody's making you eat the wrong foods. Just because your wife cooking, no, you tell her what to cook. Right? If you don't want to eat the unhealthy stuff, don't eat it. Why is it? No, you lead your family. No, if you keep eating these unhealthy food, our kids gonna be fat, you gonna be fat, I'm gonna be fat. No, lead your household. We not buying that. I don't care. We not buying that. We buying these type of foods. Sure, that don't mean we can't eat nothing unhealthy. But if we know we're not in the best version of ourselves, we got to eat the right foods. That's leading, holding them accountable as well as yourself. You see what I'm saying? And again, the third point of this is, dudes worry about, oh man, if I divorce her, she's gonna take half. Dude, why are you worried about that? If you had vetted the girl right, you looked at her background, does she come from a good home, a broken home? Did you try to marry her right away? Did you slip up and get a baby with her right away before you even had time to get to know the girl? A lot of y'all be thirsty like that. Y'all hit anything, y'all hit it raw, and then y'all end up with baby. Now you feel like you got to marry the girl. You feel what I'm saying? Because, oh, I got a baby, I gotta do it. You don't know the girl, you don't know nothing about her. You just found her at the time. You might have been drunk, might have just been not even thinking straight, and got the girl pregnant. And now you feel like you gotta marry, and now you're in a situation where you hate yourself, hate the marriage, hate the kid. Like, bro, this stuff happen every day. It happens every single day. But you can't point the finger at nobody but yourselves. So, hey, again, shout out to the content creator, because I've heard these same conversations, man. Dudes trying to work longer hours because they don't want to go home because they've allowed their household to get comfortable. Now they wives out of shape. They're not attracted to her, so they don't even they don't even get aroused, right? But they out of shape, so they don't arouse her. It's like, come on, man. Stop with the excuses. Stop with the victim mentality. So that's my take on it. Again, absolutely true that these are real life conversations going on. But if you hear these conversations, just know, man, them dudes having a victimized state. They not doing what they need to do to take care of themselves, right? They trying to point their finger. They not leading their household. They not leading themselves. They not doing what they need to do. And so therefore they are unhappy with themselves and unhappy in their marriage. So that's my take on it. I'm not holding no punches on these dudes. They got to turn up and get right, man. We in a new year already. It's time for the excuses to stop. And that's what it is. So listen, again, go out in the world, go to church, you'll see these dudes out of shape. Go to the grocery store, go to a football game. I don't care. Go to a men's meeting. Real quick, I told this story real quick. Man, hey, my wife had a family reunion sometime last year. And shout out to the Qs, man. But a lot of them dudes was, listen, out of shape, bad out of shape, smoking cigars, you know what I'm saying, drinking. It's like they celebrating failure. That's how I look at it. Like, if you're not in shape, man, and you look unhealthy and you drinking and smoking, I call it you celebrating failure. Cause what is there to celebrate? Just cause y'all linking up and people they hobbling in there just cause all nah, bro. And they ain't talking about just the Qs in general. I'm talking about that's the men I seen there. It was just the Qs there at the time, right? But yeah, go anywhere, you gonna see them. You gonna see them, and hopefully you not one. But if you are, you got to get right, man. It's time to stop making excuses. So anyway, I don't ramble too long. I don't say my piece. Hey, if y'all got any value for this video, hit the like button. If it's your first time, go ahead and subscribe. This is what I talk about. I love to talk about like men getting better. And with that being said, if you hear somebody needs to hear this video, go ahead and share it out as well. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.